Today, we're looking at more genius LEGO building techniques. These creative techniques are extremely unique, and some may even be considered illegal by some LEGO builders. I've also made a few other videos in this building technique series, so check those out with the link in the description after this video. Let's try to reach 5,000 likes for the continuation of this series. Alright, let's get right into it. This first technique is the clip handle triangle. It has 3 anti-stud sides and serves as a great connector to achieve basic 60-degree angles in your building. It's created using 3 1x2 plates with clips and 3 1x2 plates with a handle. This next one is a great way to create a brick with studs on the top and bottom. It utilizes 2 bar clips to connect the 1x2 plate with handle to the bottom horizontal clips, and with this you can now build on both the top and bottom of this makeshift brick. This one's one of my favorites in this video because it's definitely thinking outside of the box. You can attach a circular 2x2 plate onto the rails of a 1x2 plate. This is very creative, but also very illegal in the eyes of a LEGO designer. The idea here is that now that 2x2 round plate can actually slide back and forth along the rails. That being said, the sliding is not particularly flawless, but it's possible, and it's a great strategy to add a bit of elevation to your LEGO creation, and also a bit of movement. It's definitely an unexpected and underrated building technique in my opinion. This next technique is very fun and also very cool to look at. It uses 44 of these 1x2 plates with handle, and if you hook them all together, you can actually create this sort of ring. Now, by also adding some large dish pieces to the sides, you've now created this wheel or contraption of some sort. I can see this being used as an interesting replacement for treaded tires or some sort of mill wheel. I actually have a few techniques using this brick that I'll show you in quick succession here. The first one is that you can create a ring design using 12 of these half bridge type pieces. This one in particular kind of lacks usability for certain models, but it sure does look really cool. Something else you may not have tried before is attaching bricks to the underside of these half bridge pieces. Now, since these 1x1 plates are not rounded, they do not fit exactly perfectly, there's some gaps. However, it's interesting that LEGO has used this technique in a few of its sets, such as this Cafe Corner set released back in 2007. This one used a few different arch pieces that are attached underneath, and ultimately creates this very interesting overhang design. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities here, so try it out the next time you build. This one I just wanted to include for fun because I thought it was quite amusing to look at. This is a minifigure ray gun pentagon. So yes, those are 5 ray gun minifigure accessories, and if you attach them all together, you create this pentagon type shape. Now, what's interesting is that those are stud attachments on the sides of these ray guns, so technically you could build on this model. Now, I'm not exactly sure what you would add to it, however, you could create some sort of decorative wreath for the holidays or something along those lines. Definitely could be creative. This next building technique is not very conventional. By basically interlocking 1x2 bricks with their handles, you get this pattern throughout the middle. Now, this creates an odd pattern that could be used as a wall texture to spice up your design, or maybe be used for a more primitive or wilderness survival design representing woven branches in the forest. This next technique is very close to falling underneath the illegal building techniques category, or at least that's what a lot of people refer to them as. This is not an official building technique that you would see in a set that LEGO would officially produce. However, it is a creative one that you could maybe incorporate in some of your personal models while building. There's a lot of creative possibilities with this one because you can rotate those 1x2 plates in a lot of different directions to achieve many different angles. I really like the potential of this building technique, but you do need to be a little bit creative to figure out where to use it. This is a bar clip chain by just basically taking these clips and attaching them one over another until you have this very, very long chain. So it's very self-explanatory, but I wonder how long someone with a large LEGO collection could make one of these, and also what they would use it for. By combining a 1x2 plate with a clip to a modified 1x2 bar, you can create this double underside brick. There's no studs, but only the underside of a brick to attach additional LEGO bricks to. This is similar to the first one that we looked at, but not in a triangular shape. This next one is also very fun, but also quite limited in its usability and different features, because, well, this is a massive wheel and you need 144 of these 3x6 wedge plates, which I highly doubt just regular LEGO fans have. You would need to have a very large LEGO collection or intentionally go out and buy these bricks on something like Bricklink or eBay in order to create this model, but I just thought it's just a really captivating circular donut type piece to look at, so I wanted to include it because it's quite wild. Now, I want to take a bit of time to talk about the Lego hinge plate, because it's a very powerful brick that doesn't get talked about that often, and it can be used to create some incredible Lego building techniques. So let's take a moment to highlight some of the creative uses for this brick. The first one is that you can change brick orientation. Using this brick, you can kind of cross over other studs in order to create different angles or different directions that the rest of the build may go. This is definitely more of an advanced building technique because you have to kind of plan out what you're doing beforehand. However, these hinge plate pieces can also create triangular patterns, which is very unique. This is a very special feature of these bricks and something that isn't used very often in building. However, on top of all that, you can also create light curves or very, subtle turns in your build by using multiple of these hinge plate pieces. And this one I think has a lot of potential, especially if you're trying to build the siding of something that is cylindrical or round. Now, just as a note, you can kind of use jumper plates to accomplish a similar end result. This is certainly a fantastic alternative because hinge plate pieces are not necessarily the most common brick, but I can guarantee you that if you have a few Lego sets, you have a few of these jumper plates laying around. In fact, here's another creative use for jumper plates, this time to create a brick pathway or perhaps shingles for the top of a roof of a Lego house. I certainly love this design, it looks fantastic, but still one of my favorite rooftop designs was posted by Dale DMV on Eurobricks, in which he uses this kind of sloped type brick with two studs on top. It's certainly a very polished design, and it kind of makes the appearance of a clay tiled roof or a Spanish tiled roof that you may see on top of some houses. However, I do think that dark red would also look fantastic for this design. Now, if you want more of a rugged or rural look, you could consider this one by Hubre, who designed this for a stable, using these kind of longer cheese-slope pieces with a few holes in between. It looks more of like a country kind of hay makeshift roof. I really like this design for this meditating Lego minifigure. It's simple, but definitely gets the job done. I definitely recommend trying this if you have not already, but by using simply two 1x2 plates and attaching the torso of the minifigure on top, and then placing the minifigure legs along the bottom horizontally, you can actually create a meditating minifigure, and honestly just love how this looks. You can also accomplish a similar but slightly different look if you use sloped pieces instead. Consider clicking the card on screen or the links in the description to watch more creative building technique videos. However, you can also learn even more with Brilliant, today's sponsor. On Brilliant, you can actively participate in a vast multitude of fun and creative courses within the STEM field, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. But you see, Brilliant is a lot more than just educational courses. It's an easy-to-use, stress-free platform to explore new ideas, interests, and concepts so you can follow your curiosity. Whether you want to learn the basics of computer science or topics in astronomy, Brilliant offers a variety of options for you to explore. The best way to learn and grow is through interactive activities, and Brilliant certainly checks that box. What I personally love about Brilliant is how I can learn at my own pace wherever I go, and that their courses span a large list of topics and skills. Their courses help to grow your knowledge and, most importantly, are fun. Give them a try. To get started with Brilliant for free, visit brilliant.org/SpitBrix or click the link in the description, and the first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring today's video.